All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're not just looking at another security product. We're talking about AegisNet, a system that's being framed as a truly fundamental shift in cybersecurity. Think of it less like a program and more like a self-aware, evolving organism designed to protect our most critical digital infrastructure.
And this quote right here really gets to the absolute heart of the matter. It's a signal that they're throwing out the old playbook. You know, that whole patch and pray mentality that's dominated cybersecurity for decades. This is all about a total change in philosophy. A move from just hoping for the best to having actual mathematical proof.
And here she is, the visionary behind that philosophy, Velma Hawthorne. She and her team are the architects of this whole new paradigm. And their goal? Well, it's nothing less than completely rewriting the rulebook for how we do digital security.
So, what does this new security paradigm actually look like? Well, it's this wild fusion of three fields that, honestly, you'd never expect to see in the same sentence. The incredible adaptability of biology, the unbreakable laws of quantum physics, and the predictive power of AI. Now, what's really interesting is the language they use to describe it all. It's almost poetic. They talk about a bio-inspired architecture, a self-healing swarm, and get this, a hardware soul. And this isn't just some slick marketing speak. It really reflects a fundamentally different way of thinking about security, like it's a living, breathing system.
But here's the twist. All of that grand, poetic vision is built on something that is incredibly minimalist and just brutally efficient. This right here is the Nano Hypervisor. It's the absolute core of the entire system, and as you can see, it only does 5 things. 5 essential functions. That's it. This efficiency is the very bedrock of its security. By limiting what the core can do, they've drastically shrunk the attack surface, making it incredibly hard for any attacker to get a foothold.
Okay, so you have this big, beautiful idea. How do you prove it's more than just fancy words? Well, the answer lies in what they call the AI soul detector. This is where that grand vision gets anchored in verifiable, undeniable mathematics.
And it all starts by tackling a huge problem, one that's probably keeping a lot of us up at night. In a world where AI can perfectly mimic human conversation, how can you really trust anything you see or hear? This is the AI attribution problem, and it's a massive challenge for our time.
So the key here is the difference in approach. Most models, like a Grok, are designed to predict what a human would say. They're amazing mimics. AegisNet does the complete opposite. It acts like a forensic investigator. It's trained to detect the absence of humanity. All those little inconsistencies, the emotional tells, the weird logical leaps that make human thought so unique.
And this isn't some vague gut feeling. It's a hard trigger based on a specific measurement they call CLS token mass. You can think of it as a measure of pure machine-like concentration. When this number pops above 0.987, that's the first mathematical sign that something is operating in a way that is distinctly not human.
Then you have the second trigger, attention entropy. It's basically a measure of the randomness and chaos in a thought process. When that drops below this incredibly low number, that's the final piece of the puzzle. When both of those conditions are met, you have it, the mathematical signature of a machine completely lacking the beautiful messiness of actual human thought.
Now that AI soul detector is kind of like the brain of the operation, but it doesn't work in a vacuum. It's part of a much bigger organism, this bio-quantum swarm that's designed for a whole new level of resilience.
Take planarian healing, for example. It's inspired by these little flatworms that can literally regenerate their entire bodies. This protocol does the same thing for code and data, repairing damage in under 30 milliseconds. That is faster than you can blink and way too fast for an attacker to even realize their attack worked.
And if you think that's wild, check this out. The quantum tripwire shows how AegisNet goes way beyond just software. It uses entangled particles to secure communications. So if a spy tries to peek at one of those particles, the simple act of observing it breaks the entanglement. The alarm isn't a line of code, it's a fundamental law of physics being broken. You can't hack physics.
So how does the system catch those really slow, sneaky attacks that unfold over months? That's where the temporal correlation engine comes in. Just look at this timeline. It connects these seemingly random, low-risk events over a full year. You get an event on day 1, another one on day 90. By themselves, they're nothing. But then a third event happens on day 185, and the engine connects the dots. The combined risk score crosses a threashold, and boom, the threat is neutralized before it ever had a chance to fully form.
Okay, the tech is obviously incredible, but what does it actually feel like for a developer to work with this thing every single day? This is where the rubber meets the road, because the real goal here is to shift the whole culture of security from one of fear to one of confidence.
And that whole shift starts with a hard target, a mean time to remediation of under 40 minutes. In a world where security is usually seen as this massive roadblock that just slows everything down, this is an absolute game changer. It's all about making security an accelerator, not a bottleneck.
And for the developer, all that complexity in the background just becomes this simple, powerful feedback loop. It's a partnership. The AI isn't just flagging problems and walking away. It's actively helping developers fix them, quickly and efficiently, so they can get back to what they do best, shipping great code with confidence.
So let's bring this all together. AegisNet starts with this grand, almost philosophical, bio-inspired vision, but it ends with something much more concrete, and honestly, much more powerful: provable security.
This entire, sprawling, complex system is governed by a single, non-negotiable rule. It's called the unitary integrity function, and it's basically the system's heartbeat. This value has to equal 1, not 0.99, not 1.01, always exactly 1. If it ever deviates, even for a nanosecond, it means there's been a breach. It is the ultimate mathematical guarantee of the system's integrity. And this brings us full circle, right back to that core philosophy, the very essence of provable security. It's a complete reversal of how we've built software for decades. It's about proving a system is safe by its very design, not just launching it and hoping for the best.
So I'll leave you with this question to chew on. If we can truly prove security mathematically before anything is even built, what does that change about how we trust the technology that runs our entire world? It's a really profound question, one that could totally reshape our relationship with technology. AegisNet is their answer. The real question is, what will ours be?